hate losing. Is that a start? This is the official, unofficial podcast of the Melbourne Demons. This is something new in 2025. We're going to call this the Postmatch debrief. That's really clever. From me, I've got Caden McDonald with me, the YouTube sensation, and I've got a debutant, Nick Musgrove. We had 6 debutants, so it was apt, of course. And I'm going to come to him first, Kados, so don't worry about this. But, mate, Xavier Lindsay, we talk about debutants. He was unbelievable.
There are blokes who are tough, and there are blokes who are clean, and then there's Xavier Lindsay. My God, my anxiety at games is a good barometer for how well they're going. I felt so calm when he had the ball. I'm like, this bloke's played 100 games. Yeah. Did you get that feeling?
I did. I thought he was unbelievable. I thought he was one of the many positives to come out of the game. We're obviously all crestfallen because Melbourne have gone down by how many
2
points it was. 2 points. Don't remind me, Doss. Fucking hell. I'm very disappointed. I'm very upset. I'm very gutted. I've had the most beautiful weekend with my kids. My missus was away. She had a girls' weekend. So just, quality family time. I've walked into the G. To be honest, Doss, with you, I wasn't expecting much. And then what I got was this beautiful performance, this committed performance. These boys that just went the whole way and were so close. Didn't get there in the end. And yet I am absolutely gutted. However, you've got to be positive.
Yeah, you got to be positive. I guess GWS would be a lot of people's yardstick for the competition. Yeah. So to get that close, especially they've been the talk of the town after what they did against the Pies. So I didn't expect a whole heap, and 3 quarters in, I was filled with pride. I am a little bit salty that once again, with the close result, we couldn't close it out. That's been a trend over the last 12 months. I do get that we're quite young. But I love that phrase from Damien Hardwick a year ago with the Suns where he goes, when are we going to grow up? A little part of me, we lost to Port late in the season, couldn't close it out. We lost to the Giants in a tight one, dropped a game against the Blues in a tight one, lost to the Lions, which we should have won up at the Gabba. So it's becoming a little bit of a thing where we're not winning the close games. And Collingwood won a grand final winning the close games. It's just something we've got to add to the arsenal. But it was a young side today, a lot of debutants. So I'll take the results.
Is he a bit harsh there, debutant?
Well, as one of the 7 key debutants for the day, let me be the first
the
to
most
say,
important one.
I think we're all feeling very proud. So it's a funny feeling. Yeah. Like, this result isn't the sum of its parts. I think across every line, we had players to be proud of.
100%.
Let me take you back, though. Like, let's go big picture for a minute, if I may, if I can indulge.
Sure.
I think we all would have been there for Jack Viney's debut, because that was Jim's commemoration game. He'd passed over the off-season.
Yep.
And we
rocked up. Is that the one against Brisbane?
Yeah, it was Brisbane or Port, I forget.
We got spanked.
It was Port.
Yeah, it's Port. Yeah.
We got spanked.
We did. Yeah, and Jack Viney was best on in his first game, kicked a goal.
Yep. And then yelled at everyone in the rooms afterwards.
Yeah.
All the Lyndon Dunn types just got into
right.
Just barreled off you.
So, all right, bit of perspective. We've come a hell of a long way. We're, as promised by our president, opening bounce for generational talents waxing and acquitting themselves beautifully and bringing along 6 new players who slotted in beautifully. And it might be that this result gets bigger the further into this season we get, because, I think they'll be a barometer. So very proud.
I couldn't agree with that more. I thought the debutants were enormous. I thought Jono applied himself. I thought Hendo applied himself. Sharpie chipped in. Xavier Lindsay was unbelievable. Obviously, Harvey Langford didn't get enough game time because he was the sub, which was a little bit questionable for me.
You've got questions, Kados.
You've got questions. Yeah. But even Jeffo, had a crack. He kicked a couple. He took his opportunities. So for me, just to see the blokes that we debuted to step up, I was super, super proud. It was the mix of the senior players, the youth, and then, of course, these mature age debutants that came in. It's really hard. I walked out of the ground and I was absolutely gutted. So gutted. But in saying that, in the wash-up and it's been an hour since we lost that game of footy, I sit here and I go, far out, there's a lot of upside.
Yeah, we pushed them as far as you could have predicted coming into it, and to a point where we should have won. We should have won that game. I know there's a lot of context to go into it, but that's a result that we should have walked away with. I was a little bit annoyed that Harvey Langford was sub. I wanted to see Baby Bont unleashed, as Cal Toomey has nicknamed him.
Baby Bont.
But who I was impressed with was Matt Jefferson. The way he plays in the VFL, he bobs up often. There'll be a little highlights package. Matt Jefferson's kicked 4, and he kicks 4 goals in ways that key forwards don't normally do it. And I thought, I don't know if that's going to apply to the big league. But it did. His craft and his IQ allows him to bob up in really skillful and smart ways that other key forwards don't do. I listened to Chris Scott's press conference yesterday, and he spoke about when Tom Hawkins went out and Shannon Neal came in, the Cats didn't tell Shannon Neal to play like Tom Hawkins. They changed their game plan to suit Shannon Neal's skill set. And I thought, is that something we can take from that? Instead of trying to make Matt Jefferson play like Roo, can we just let Matt Jefferson play like Matt Jefferson and base a game plan around that? And I felt like we did, because he bobbed up with 2 and played to his strengths. The
one thing I want to talk about before we speak about some players again is I just thought the overall commitment from the players was unbelievable.
So good.
I was so impressed with the hunger, the desire, the pressure, the commitment, every single little bit of DNA that you could ever want. Coming up against a very classy GWS side, I thought was absolutely there. So you walk away from it and you go, okay, individually there are a few mistakes that absolutely cost us, and we can speak to them if we want. But on a whole, I thought as a brand, we saw it with some other teams this week that came up against some sides that were highly fancied, particularly Richmond against Carlton.
What a result.
Can we have a whole pod about that?
Yeah, that would be amazing. But it was the pressure and the commitment of the side was what got them over the line. It was so close for us. And I think if you're a Melbourne Football Club player walking off the field, you're obviously devastated, but you're sitting there going, Jesus, if we can bring that next week, we're going to be in most games.
Yeah, I mean, for me, there was a moment, I think we were still down, possibly second quarter, where, GWS were doing what they were doing. They're slingshotting off half-back, like they're waiting for the error and they're winning on turnover. And we actually choked them up. Like tackle on tackle on tackle, it wasn't even a turnover to start with. It was just a few stoppages. I'm like, we actually know what we're doing here. And it's like, it was that relentless tackle pressure through the corridor. That's when I'm like, okay, we're actually in this game. We know how to stop them, and they're prepared to do the hard work. It was very encouraging. It could have gone the other way.
It could have gone the other way. So some players I want to speak about, Harrison Petty behind the ball.
Swing him forward.
You are...
I'd like to see
what he could clunk him like that forward. I don't know whether everyone thought about trying this, but send him down there.
You are a defender.
He actually looked like a footballer.
Yeah, he did.
How good was he?
Because
so
he reads
good.
the ball so well in the air.
Yeah.
The only time he takes a clunk forward is when he's third man up, which is the clue, right? And he read it beautifully all day, and he would have taken more if it was a dry day, but he still took
another ranger, Jake Bowie.
Oh, my goodness. On the wing, the 3 efforts.
He was unbelievable.
He was.
A few people were potting him in the pre-season because he looked a little bit rusty, but Jake Bowie's game was huge. And then there's a myriad of others, but I wanted to fixate on those 2 because I feel like they've just copped a lot of shit recently. But Harrison Petty and Jake Bowie were enormous. Xavier Lindsay, who we spoke about, was amazing. Clary was good. Track was probably a little bit better. Jack Viney set the tone in the first half for me. I thought Jack Viney was just unbelievable in that first half. It was just kind of like, boys, come on, come with me. We can do this. We can win this game of footy. But then overall, I just felt like there was a genuine buy-in from every single player. So I sit here, I've got goosebumps. I feel like I'm talking about a victory because I was that proud of the fellas, and I did the old coping mechanism halfway through the last quarter where I have a little quiet word to the boys next to me in the standing room and I go, you know what, even if we lose this, I'm over the moon, proud effort. And then you walk out of the stadium and you want to fucking cry. But that's what it feels like, to be honest. And that's as when we strip it back and you wake up tomorrow and you realise that this isn't life and death, because it's not, that's the thing that is keeping me sane.
Yeah, and for me, there were some special feelings that I'd missed. It's about having our big 4 together. Track's 2 goals, both incredibly classy, but awesome. There's a feeling you get when he's got the ball where things are possible. And wait till Cozzy comes back. There's another bloke who can do it. But, like, he took, 2 touches in tight, both check side goals.
Yeah.
It's amazing to have him back. And the thing about him for me that I wanted to really note today was he's made a career out of being the bloke you can't tackle. He'll invite and wear the tackle, and he'll put the arms up and he'll get out a handball. Putting the arms up and wearing that tackle, inviting that tackle after what he's went through last year and then again in the preseason. Gee, that's brave.
Now, I feel like a dickhead, just quickly, because I don't know how long we've run for. And Dan's there in the background. Maybe we've run for 10 minutes. But I have...
we're 8 in.
Or whatever we're in, Kados. I have not mentioned the name of a player who I thought was absurd. Absurd. And I want you to, like, pick it out of my brain.
Max Gawn?
No, Caleb Windsor.
Yeah.
Wow. Caleb Windsor just tucking it on the arm going, I'm just quicker than you. I'm just going to, like, burst past you and I'm going to just spin this from 55, 60. He was so good. And it was a reminder to everyone that this guy is a second-year player. Caleb Windsor is going to be an absolute superstar for this football club. Another reason why I walked away from the G crestfallen, but then you go, oh, shit, that was unbelievable.
Yeah, well, I went to training over the summer and there was just an hour of drills where it was get it to Windsor and let him break the lines off the half-back line. Like, they just kept feeding it to him. And we saw it when he kicked that goal. I think it was start of the third. Just comes through, took one bounce, ran about 40 metres, but then just slots it from 50. And then I reckon we got another one straight after, and it felt, Tommy Sparrow felt very bang, bang, bang-ish.
I heard it in the outer.
Yeah.
What?
That might have been
we were
me.
one bang short.
The 10,000 there.
Yeah. But no, Windsor's ability to break the lines and use his foot skills, I think Harvey Langford's got a little bit of that as well. So we've drafted a little bit differently recently. Like Xavier, Lindsay's classy, Windsor's classy, Langford seems to be classy. So we're designing the team to look a little bit different over the next couple of years, which is exciting.
No, it's good. It's a good blend. Yes, I thought Caleb was incredible. But who else caught your eye, Nick?
It was just on Windsor. The goal was dreamy.
Yeah.
And, a real highlight. But the one that really impressed me was when he laced out Jeffo, where he didn't just burn off to opponents. He actually sort of wore the contact as well. And said, not only am I quick enough, I'm strong enough to get through this. So he wore 2, then laced. And at that point, you're like, this is not a first-year player, is it?
Well,
he's big and strong.
When I saw that, I thought, I reckon we got both of them for Luke Jackson. So it was sort of like the Luke Jackson.
And we get him back anyway.
Yeah. He was only on loan. He's coming back. But when I saw that, I was like, this is the first time we've seen these guys on the same park together. Yeah. And they're just utilising both their skill set.
Jackie Henderson was good.
Man.
Junkyard Dog.
Oh, he's just the pressure and the will and the hunt. And
it's perfect.
Do you see the whole Werribee team was there?
Yeah.
Making up half the crowd.
Yeah, it was great. Well, I'm glad they came.
No, it's good for
they
footy,
really
notice.
boosted it. Appreciation of the Werribee team for coming down.
Well, hopefully we can get a couple more of them because AJ was great and so was Hendo.
I think the bigger picture thing for me is, I was saying it to the boys before I left, before I caught up with you two nuffies, and it was great effort today. You've got North at Marvel, which feels like a bit of a banana skin. And I said it would have been a banana skin if we'd lost today, but I didn't realise the circumstances in which we'd lost. Like, there was a big part of me coming in saying, you know what, they're probably 3, 4, 5 goal better side. To lose at the death to them and probably should have won it means that I go into that game against North going, you know what, we should probably have enough for them, bit of polish under the roof. And then you go into a game against the Suns, we should be winning that game, right? And then suddenly you're 2-1, and then you got a free hit against Geelong down at the Cattery with Cozzy back. So I feel like it sounds really stupid, but we'll go there. It feels like we've laid a platform in a weird way from a performance perspective, going, all right, if you bring that next week, you'll beat North because you should. If you bring that the week after, you should beat the Gold Coast at the G because you should. And then suddenly you're 2-1, you go into Geelong and it's like, well, fuck, no one expects you to win.
Yeah.
It's a free hit. And you get back one of the most exciting, most electric players in the competition. So it would be very easy to just walk away from that going, oh my God, we've got North. God, it could be a struggle. I come out of it going, no, you know what? we'll have enough for them and we'll have enough for the Suns and we'll set our season up and then we'll go down to Geelong and we'll just give our best shot without most people in the AFL world thinking we're a chance. That's where I've come to after the back of that performance.
Yeah, bring that twice. We win next week.
Yeah.
Johnson missed, Keith hits, we lose. Flip that, we're talking about a win. Yeah, it was honestly that marginal.
Kills ya.
Yeah, both pressure kicks. Don't judge the man, but we were right in it. We were about to be 10 points up, and we probably would have asked it from there. So at this point, as cliched as it sounds, you focus on the process. The process was good. Yeah, the fundamentals were great, and there's some excitement as well. Like, do we want to talk about the way we played? Like, it didn't seem like that dour down the line.
Or the jig
caper
in the stands.
The jig was electric.
Let's talk about the jig.
No one saw the jig coming.
Jim Stein's game. Jim's game was unbelievable.
Do we bring the jig back for every game? That could be our thing. That was fun.
That was cool. Melbourne Football Club. If you're watching, you're probably not.
One thing that my mates observed at the game, the jig was amazing, except the whole feature of Irish dancing is the feet. And they'd put this board in front of their feet. So we just saw the bobbing.
Yeah.
But it's almost why we all got involved. I'm like, these people are working hard. These brilliant dancers. We cannot see what their feet are doing. We presume it's amazing.
That was one of the great days of the footy.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah, I thought so too. I don't know if it was the 320 or the way we were playing with our backs against the wall, but we've just gone into Friday night and Saturday night blockbusters for 3 years straight. There's so much pressure. The whole footy world's watching us. And it's such a hard way to go and watch your team. This felt like a little bit of a free hit. Wasn't a beautiful afternoon weather-wise, but everyone got down, embraced it, and it felt really fun from an on-field performance, but then an off-field.
I agree. One other player I need to mention, because I've kind of put him on, not the chopping block per se, but I've been a little bit harsh about him in recent times. I thought Christian Salem was really, really good. And we talk about him and we isolate him because he can be such an integral part of what we're trying to achieve. If he gets back to 2021 form, I don't know, I think we're in a good groove with him behind the ball doing his thing. He was another player I just saw today and I go, wow, you're actually fit, you're healthy, you look unhindered. I feel like the last few years he hasn't had a good run at it. I was really happy with his performance.
Yeah, continuity for him has always been the issue. But I watched him, he actually lined up top of the square and they're backing him to leave his man if he thinks we're winning stoppage. So he was actually that outlet behind the stoppage, and he's the one you want. He's like ball in hand, right? And he got 30 maybe. Yeah,
he might have been our leading disposal getter.
He was awesome.
For majority of the game. That's sort of a little bit of Simon Goodwin 2017 Dees or 2018 Dees where we just run off the back line. We used to have Jaden Hunt and the boys just streaming through.
Frosty.
There's almost a little bit of that in our game again. Not the frost ball. Where is it going?
I never knew where the frost ball was going. But you're right. Like, Christian Salem was very, very good today. Are there any others you want to throw up? Were you disappointed? I feel like I don't want to say I'm disappointed with too many things. Like, the way we defended grass at times and them in transition. I mean, they're GWS. They're the best forward handball team in the comp. So it's always going to be difficult. While, like, a few Caden McDonald fanboys are,
here we go.
This is fucking crazy. What is this? Here. Jesus Christ. Watch out for this, everyone. What is this?
Go there, Dees. Go there,
What
Dees.
is this?
You're all right. The more the merrier.
But it's you.
The more the merrier.
You're welcome here.
Great effort by the boys today, I thought.
No, it's good.
What are you?
I'm feeling very proud. I went to Jesus Christ Superstar when I probably should have gone to the game.
Go there, Dees.
I thought Clary was fantastic. I thought all the young blokes played a fantastic game. I'm still not sure about the forward line, how it's sort of...
Thank you.
Definitely missed a certain number 36 today, I do believe.
Yes.
At the drop, we could have got a lot, because I thought Van Ruin and that were bringing us to the ground pretty well.
Well said.
Only watched the last half, though, so it was pretty bad for me. I saw Great West City kill a 4 goals.
No, that's okay. No, that's
but
fair.
anyway,
that's fair.
I was there.
Can I ask how?
87.
Don't talk
Jimmy
about
Styles
Jim
ran across
Styles.
the mark. I was
Get
there.
away.
You know who was standing
Nah,
behind
it's
me?
bad juju.
Pat Cash.
Nah, it's bad
Very good
juju.
for Melbourne. I better go and knock him out.
No, it's bad juju. Get out of here.
See you guys.
Get out of here.
See ya.
Yeah, no, you will be. We don't want that bad juju. Just piss off. Thanks for coming in. So the only reason I'm here is because apparently one of them loves you. So thanks for that.
Yeah, you should see the volume of fans trying to sneak in to see Kados. It's
fucking
unbelievable down
what
there.
the fuck was that?
Okay.
Give me a wrap up. Let's go, pause.
Yeah, hugely proud of every line of our game today.
Great.
I thought the one thing that hurt us was the thing that GWS are best at, which is that rebound off our half-forward line.
That was weird, by the way.
And, yeah, if you brought in a...
Welcome to my life.
Yeah, what was weirdest was that he said, I didn't go to the game, I went to Jesus Christ Superstar. I want that to be noted. He missed the first half due to a Andrew Lloyd Webber musical, but still had some good insights about the second half.
What the fuck? What was that? What? Honestly, what was that? Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God.
Only Melbourne supporter could
Yeah,
taking some theatre.
Is that getting cut out?
Yeah.
No, none of it is. The old man's trying to call me. He wants to debrief. Everyone wants to debrief. Kados, give us your wrap up.
Jake Lever, underrated.
He was awesome.
Tommy McDonald, underrated.
Awesome.
Maxi Gorn just keeps on keeping on. Except he didn't have the arc for his 55-metre bombs. He was sort of going straight in.
The script was written for him.
Yeah, I didn't
Big
like
number
that.
11 was going to wind up and ice the game for a minute.
I didn't. Where's the arc? I thought whatever Nathan Jones has done with the midfield group, it's clicking and it's working. We look like a fearful midfield again, which is exciting.
Agree.
And yeah, I thought everyone just bought in. It was one of the better team performances I've seen. I thought it would have taken a little while for the game plan to click, but they all seemed to be on the same page. And shattered that we didn't and couldn't get the result. But that'll hold us in good stead for a lot of games this season.
Couldn't agree more. My big shout out is to Christian Petracca. So I've been a little bit critical of him and the way he went about announcing that he was disgruntled with the club. Didn't speak out for 19 days or whatever it is, which is an eternity in the footy world. But to see him running around the MCG today, to see him kicking goals, to see him happy, to see him embraced by his teammates, to see the fans embrace him, I just fell in love with him again today. Like, I really did.
A couple of passionate celebrations.
Yeah. And I have been critical of him, like even in private conversations with people, because, I mean, I reckon there's a lot of people out there that thought it was a little bit harsh, the way that Track went about it. But to see the way that he played his football today, he was committed, he was fierce, he was tough, he was polished to kick a couple of goals. I thought he was almost the match winner for us, and it didn't happen for us, but I was super proud. So well done, Track. We love you. We want you to stay forever. And I felt like the nucleus today was fantastic. The blend of mature age, youth that came in, and then also the senior players that were so good, like Tommy Mack and Jake Lever that you speak about. Christian Salem was awesome. Jake Bowie stepped up. He's got a few naysayers as well. So I think Goody was alluding to it in his press conference before this game. I think he was saying, we know we've got a good blend here.
Yeah.
Yep. And I think we saw it. Because a lot of people came in today and they go, 6 debutants. Yeah. I think the thing that people were forgetting was, yes, it's 6 debutants, but it's a Matt Jefferson that has developed for 3 years at Casey. It's a Harry Sharp that's been at Brisbane for a few years. It's obviously a Aiden Johnson that's been at Werribee for a long time. He's 24. It's a Jack Henderson that's been at Werribee for a while. He's a captain. And then it's a couple of very silky, high-profile draft picks. So if you actually break it down, it's not as if we're actually playing 6
just raw
blokes that are as raw as anything, whippersnappers. We've played some people that have some experience in this system. Or you've got 2 kids that are just ready for the level, and we saw that in Xavier Lindsay. So well done to the coaching staff. All you've got to do now is just continue it on for the next 2 weeks.
That's it. Yeah, for me, one look at Aiden Johnson, it's so clear this year he's going to give fans some moments that we just love. Like purists of like tough, hard footy and old school forwards are just going to love what he brings. Yeah, and look, we had a couple of moments today, but we've got a lot more in store.
I loved, shout out to Marto, but every single time Max came off and Aiden Johnson was rucking, he would just call Aiden Johnson Max because he's got the board noggin. And he was just yelling out, "Go, Maxie! Hit him, Maxie!" And people like turn around going, "You realise that's not Max?" It's like, obviously he knows it's not Max, you fucking moron. But it was fantastic comedy.
Well, when Aiden Johnson was lining up late, they put Max Gorn's playing stats for the game on, which was hilarious.
Did they?
Yeah. It came up, Max scored, had 12 touches, 20 hit-outs, and it was Hayden Johnson lining up.
Nah, it was brilliant. It was brilliant. So we'll come back tomorrow. I've got a lot of content to do. I've got a League Cup final to watch. I'm a big Liverpool fan, so we're playing Newcastle in the wee hours of the morning. So got to watch that one, get up, fight through it, get a strong latte in me and do some player ratings. Then I've got to do a review show with Toff. And then randomly I've got a little preview show with the North Pod as well tomorrow. So, mate, I feel like you, Caden.
Shout out to Clayton, like having like gone and kicked some snags with the Dees. You're still as grounded as ever.
Yeah,
Just
I actually can't believe he's here.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Trent Rivers missed a couple. I just kept yelling out, remember what I taught you, Trent? Remember what I taught you?
I actually can't believe you're here, hanging out with us snuffies. But thank you. This is the first edition of the Postmatch Debrief. What an incredibly original title that is. But hopefully we can do a few more of these. Hopefully you're not hurting too much. There's a bright future ahead. Keep supporting. We'll see you next week at Marvel. We probably won't see anyone. But anyway, it is what it is. Enjoy.